Hey guys, it's Reed here, and this is episode 30 of Contest Coding. I actually just finished solving this problem, except I forgot to hit record, so I'm doing it again. So hopefully I won't have any mistakes this time. I didn't have any the first time, so I don't think I'll have any this time around. But let's start it off again. So you're going to get your array list string of patterns, which is for the problem, which I'm going to explain right now. Okay, so basically the problem is you're given a replacement code for A's and 4s, B's and 8s to make it more like the numbery text type text stuff you can do. And you're going to get a passage like this of things you get to find matching words of vitamin, account, and cache. The vitamin, but it could end up looking like that vitamin with the 4 in it. Okay, so you have to figure out how you're going to do this. The easiest way, regex. Regex really has the built-in stuff to do this for you, and it makes the problem super easy to solve. So I like regex problems, and this is how I'm going to do it. So first I'm going to read in all my keywords and throw them into my patterns array list. Add to regex, which is the method I'm going to write that's going to convert these normal strings into regex strings. Take the first word, add it to my patterns. Then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through and have an array list of lines. So string lines equals new array list. Like that. And I'm going to go through while send.hasNext. Next line. I'm just going to add lines.add send.next line like that. And then I'm next going to have to do is make my next scanner, which is going to read through the lines. I call it KB because it stands for keyboard. There's no reason. I'm not even reading from a keyboard, but for some reason, when I first started writing contest problems, I was using sin and KB for the patterns. Kind of what I was shown the first time I did it, so I've kept doing it now, and now it's just habit to always call second scanner KB, first scanner sin. Third scanner I usually call like SC. I don't know why, that's just what I do. So as long as the variables make sense to you, it's good. People can usually figure out what you mean when you have somewhat legible variables, but if it makes sense to you and it's short, like KB and sin are very short 2-letter, 3-letter words, then you can type faster and have less code on your screen that you have to worry about having errors in. So now we're going to use the delimiter. Delimiter. Hopefully I spelled it right. That's the one thing I always mess up, spelling of delimiter. I don't know why, I just do. There you go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm using the delimiter of all the spaces, the commas, the question marks, any of the punctuation that might be thrown in there, and just throwing it in there, getting rid of it like that. What this is going to do is it's going to make it solve for the last part where you have to stop when you get the 2 asterisks. It's going to do that for me because I'm not going to have to worry about any asterisks being matched or anything. So I'm just going to let it take all the lines in the first time, and I'm going to use these delimiters to make sure the words are all parsed properly. But you can't use all punctuation because you have a plus at the end. That's part of your words. You have to make sure you're aware which words you're using as punctuation ones and which ones you're not. So that's just a thing. Pay attention there. There may be a few other punctuation marks you may have to add to actually make the problem submit properly. But for now, that's going to work for testing and what I'm going to do. So while KB has that has next, I'm going to go through and start reading it. So if KB.next matches my pattern P in the thing using the string matching method, I'm just going to do score plus plus. I'm keeping track of my score up here. This is how many times each pattern matches. Then after I'm done with the while loop, score will be all set up properly. And I do out.println score, and that should give me the correct answers. One thing I have to remember to write is your toRegex method. So string toRegex, taking a string s, and I'm actually going to use a regex replace all to correct my string. So string output equals s. Pretty simple, right? Now you just got to replace it. String s equals s.replace all of the a's with bracket a4. And we keep going all the way down the key list that they give me up there. B's next with a B or an 8. What's next? E, it looks like. Replace E with an E or a 3. And this is the only tedious part about this problem, and it is the most important part of the problem, is actually just typing in everything correctly. One mistake here, I just typed 7 there, one mistake and you will not get the problem right because your program isn't going to replace the right letters. So make sure you are very careful with this and try not to rush too fast. So I'm kind of going a little bit faster than I probably should right now because I'm not really paying utmost attention to this because I'm also talking while I'm typing. But this should be the hardest part of the problem, and you should spend the most time. It's always better to check Okay, if it doesn't work the first time, or even if it does, go back, check these, check the stuff you had to manually type in so that you don't have to worry about it interfering with the actual code that you're writing up above. Here, you had all this code going through, delimiter, matching, adding your scores, stuff like that. Come down here and you're just manually entering whatever they tell you to enter. Well, you make one mistake in the manual entry and your code that's actually doing the work isn't going to do anything at all. Right there, I escaped the $sign because $sign is a special character in regex. You probably don't have to do it, but I'm doing it just because I want to be safe. If you're ever concerned about whether you should escape the character or not, just throw in the escape sequence with the 2 slashes and you'll be good to go. Because you can always escape more than you can't escape. So right there, just make sure you escape them. Although if it's not an escape character at all, then escaping it will like throw you up anyway. So just be careful. You can even look up in your Java APIs to know which strings exactly you should escape. I'm pretty sure I need to do that for the $sign, so that's what I'm going to do. Open up our terminal, compile the program, run it, and let's see what happens. 2, 1, 3, and that is correct. You see right there. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next episode.